This tiny fitness mistake ruins everything. And I do mean tiny. It's not your form. It's not your program. It's not that you picked the wrong app or the wrong split or the wrong protein powder. You could have all of that dialed in perfectly, and this one thing would still quietly delete your progress in the background, like a process you didn't know was running. People make this mistake for years. Smart people, consistent people, people doing everything right and wondering why their character sheet never updates. And the fix, once you see it, takes about 30 seconds a night. Not 30 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because here's the thing. If I just name it, your brain will go, "Oh yeah, I know that," and skip right past it. That's exactly how this mistake survives. It hides behind, "Yeah, I know." So instead, let me describe 3 symptoms. If even one of these sounds like you, you're probably making it right now. Symptom 1, the plateau that doesn't make sense. You're showing up, you're logging sessions. 3 weeks ago, you were adding weight or reps or minutes, and now the numbers just sit there. Worse, some days they go backwards. Same workout feels twice as hard. Your first instinct is that you're not doing enough, so you add more. And it gets worse. That backwards logic is the mistake talking. Symptom 2, the dread. You used to kind of look forward to your workouts. Not always, but often enough. Now the notification pops and your stomach does a little drop. Not soreness, not laziness. A low-grade ugh that wasn't there a month ago. Most people read this as a motivation problem and try to willpower through it. It's usually not a motivation problem. It's a warning light, and putting tape over it doesn't turn it off. Symptom 3. This one's almost funny. 3 good weeks. Best streak you've had. Momentum, consistency, you're finally becoming that person. And then you get sick. A cold, a weird throat thing, a 2-day bug that knocks you flat and resets the streak to 0. You call it bad luck. If it happens every single time you build momentum, it might not be luck. Plateaus, dread, getting sick right when things are going well. 3 symptoms, 1 common cause. The mistake is treating recovery as optional. Sleep, rest days, actual downtime. Most of us treat them as the empty space between workouts, the loading screen you sit through to get back to the part that counts. And I get why. Nobody sells recovery. There's no 30-day rest challenge going viral. Effort feels productive and rest feels like nothing, so we do the effort and skip the nothing. Here's the part almost everyone has backwards. The workout is not where you get fitter. Sounds wrong, right? Stay with me. A workout is stress. Deliberately applied, useful stress, but stress. It fatigues your muscles, runs down fuel stores, and leaves you temporarily less capable than when you started. That's not a flaw, that's the mechanism. You've sent your body a signal. This wasn't enough. Rebuild stronger. The rebuild happens later, largely while you rest, and a big chunk of it while you sleep. That's when your body does much of its repair work, rebuilding tissue, restocking fuel, letting your nervous system reset. In gamer terms, the workout cues the update. Recovery installs it. If you never let the install finish, you're just queuing the same update over and over and wondering why the version number never changes. And that framing fits all 3 symptoms. The plateau. If you're consistently piling on stress faster than you're recovering from it, performance flatlines and then dips. The dread. An under-recovered body tends to make everything feel heavier, including your own enthusiasm. Your brain isn't lazy. It may just be tired in a way one good night doesn't fix. And the getting sick pattern. Research consistently links short sleep with getting sick more often. So 3 weeks of accumulating stress on 5.5 hours a night isn't stacking the odds in your favor. None of this is guaranteed to be your explanation. But if you've got the symptoms and you're sleeping like a raccoon, It's the first suspect to rule out. Here's the honest part. Sleep more is useless advice on its own. Everyone knows they should sleep more. Knowing isn't the problem. The problem is that recovery has no trigger. Workouts have alarms, apps, calendar blocks. Sleep has whenever I stop scrolling, which is a plan in the same way whenever I feel like it is a training program. So here's the 30-second fix. It's a nightly shutdown ritual. 3 steps, done in order, and the whole thing genuinely fits inside 30 seconds. Step 1. About 10 seconds. Set a sleep alarm. Not a wake-up alarm, an alarm that goes off at night and means start winding down now. Every phone has this built in. Pick a time that gives you a realistic 7 to 9 hours before you have to be up, and set it once so it repeats. You never do sleep math at 11 p.m. again. Step 2. About 10 seconds. When that alarm fires, the phone goes somewhere you can't reach from bed. Across the room, on the dresser, in the kitchen, doesn't matter. You're not deleting apps or buying a lockbox. You're adding 4 feet of distance, because 4 feet of distance beats infinite willpower. Step 3. About 10 seconds. Before you put the phone down, decide tomorrow's session. 1 sentence in your notes app. Tomorrow, 20-minute walk after lunch. Tomorrow, rest day on purpose. That last one matters. A rest day you chose is recovery. A rest day that just sort of happened is a skip day wearing a disguise, and it comes with guilt instead of repair. Alarm, distance, decision. 30 seconds. That's the whole ritual. Now, don't take my word for any of this. Run the 7-day test. For 1 week, do the shutdown ritual every night and change nothing else. Same workouts, same food, same everything. Each morning, track 3 things on a 1 to 10 scale. How rested you feel, how you feel about today's session, and how your workouts actually perform when you do them. 15 seconds in the same notes app. Fair warning about what to expect. 7 days is too short for real physical adaptation. And 1 person tracking themselves is an experiment, not a study. But there's a common pattern people report with changes like this. The dread number tends to move first, sometimes within days, because feeling better on more sleep isn't mysterious. Performance and plateaus take longer, often weeks, and depend on more than sleep. What the test gives you either way is data. If nothing moves, recovery probably wasn't your bottleneck, and you've ruled it out for the price of 30 seconds a night. If something moves, you've found a lever you own. If you run the test, drop a comment with your day 1 and day 7 numbers, especially the dread score. And if you know someone who's stuck on a plateau and responding by adding more workouts, send them this video before they add another one. If this way of thinking about fitness makes sense to you, small fixes, honest mechanisms, no shame, subscribe. That's what every video here is. One last thing, because this is the reframe that matters. Most of us learn it backwards. The workout is the work and the rest is the reward. It's exactly reversed. The workout is the request. The rest is where your body does the work. The mistake was never training too little. The mistake was thinking the workout was the work. Thanks for watching.